Right, I am on Frankenmuth. I really wasn't feeling it. I've like sort of tried to sort of play it quite a few times, so I thought, let's do this a little bit differently. So we're starting on a new... That's not new. We're starting start from scratch. Shall I just start again? No. It's, I really don't take myself too seriously. Right, so then we've got a million. I thought we needed a bit of cash. Let's check the sales. Oh my life, got shenanigans going on already. Ooh, fantastic. Well, that's a good start straight away. Yeah, we're going to buy that. Well, definitely. That gives us a really good start. I really do like this tractor. Fell in love with this on... do we go straight for... Well, you get standards anyway, so let's buy narrows straight away. I think we only get those narrows, I think. Do we? I think so. I don't think there was narrows in anything else, if I remember rightly. You often get that yeah, you get one with narrows and then the rest are all like normals. Yeah, I am right. It does follow that pattern. It seems to. Not always. It's true. I do say that, but not absolutely every single time. So we're going to buy that because you get the standards anyway. Fantastic. I think that's not a bad idea. Oh, it's a 6 meter. Now that's the one that's so expensive. Normally that's actually about the same cost as a little 3 meters. So I often say this about letting the if you get a steer from the sales, then I'll often go with it. So we will indeed grab that. So we're going into vegetables. Definitely. 6 meter for 40,000. I think no. So we've got a... Now we need some land. And being as it is a start from scratch, why not start off like... Because these are all big fields. Can we afford one? Oh, no, but that one we could. About 46. What has it got in it? Looks like canola to me. It is. It's canola. Oh, I would imagine it's actually ready to harvest. Do we harvest? Do we lease a harvester as well? Grab that and buy the field. We actually do get some... is there anything? Yeah, let's just be a bit canny as well. Is there anything on the map, like any kind of... Because I didn't really thoroughly do this. Like farmland is what we want to be on. Yeah, I always like to have a poke around. This is probably one of the single most important things you'll ever do, and that's your start. You're not very little control of that start. What is that? Yeah, it's another forest. I did think it, but I couldn't see anything on it that suggested it was a forest, but it is. Right, okay. Oh, look now it does look like a forest. Right, so farmland. So we've got that for 83,000. Why not? Yeah, that, I mean, that's got... I do apologise. I've got to be honest. I've been absolutely shattered the entire weekend. I think 46. I do. I'm just trying. What I'm really sort of worried about is we can't really harvest, or we could lease one though. We could actually. It's true. Let's do it. That's what we're going to go for. Right. So then, we have set ourselves a task. I'm going to allow this. Obviously, this is just the starting, and we are down at the shop. Let me just turn my sound down a little bit. That sounds like it's going to like absolutely... Not that it matters anymore. Yeah, for the past few weeks, I've been recording my my voice on a completely different... Oh no, this is a new map, so we need to switch zone markers off. Yeah, I also... One thing I did in the last session was... I always put a blob of green down, and I've got to be honest, obviously I wish I could do something different, and then I accidentally put a blob of cracked concrete in this very place, and I thought, oh, well, that's not bad, because it really doesn't look terribly obtrusive like my blob of green does. So if we go... Now you can actually see that one there. It's going to refract. I wish I could find the proper way to actually do this, whether it's... Ooh. What on earth is that in there? Is it straight... I've never actually looked straight above like that. Wow. We found the flaw in the game. It doesn't like it if you go straight above. Why is that not? Wow. That's well weird. What was that about? Right, I can't switch that off. It's... Right, we do... No, we do. I'm never autosave on. Definitely. Let's switch that off. Yeah, so now... should be able to. It's not terrible. It's not terribly noticeable at all. It's perhaps I might be like biting off more like a chew. It's really quite difficult to see, but we'll run with it. And if it doesn't work, then no. Then before we do that, we need to be changing our game settings. We have now got the we don't have any of this on. I always like to show you this anyway, even though I know a lot of people aren't really interested. But that's because I'm playing this as a game rather than... Yeah, we'll have that on as well because we start... Oh, no, we won't to begin with because it's going to immediately turn it on for the field that we've got, which is then going to mean it's like terrible. So that's all off. General settings, we need to be on dollar. We are. And everything should be spot on, I think. So... Did I just... Oh, yeah, I did stop and go in to say get out, and then it's like done completely. Right, so now we should find a completely different amount of repair costs. We may as well start as we mean to go on. Fantastic. So that's my settings. We have got a tractor and we have got this. We do need to lease a harvester. Yeah, it's got to be a reasonable one, but I mean, yeah, it's a big field, but do we hire a couple of cheap ones? And what are we going to do with the... I think it's probably not a bad idea to actually lease a couple of the cheap ones. I know a Russell Musher would, but I can have a bigger header with the Massey, so I think we'll lease... Yep. And lease, yep. And headers, we're going to go for the slight, no, we can actually go fairly big. Yeah, this one here, I think, is it the 12 meter version of this? And now this is a bit of a going out on a leap of faith, really. Because they have changed things a little. No, it was that one. No, it was that one. Right, so how do we get those actually to there? We could ask the shop to actually deliver them and pay them the cost of having it delivered to the field. We are going to need a trailer, but we can't wait for the sales. We've got I may as well buy one. I've got to be honest, I should probably go for my own version of the big one. We will eventually... This one isn't working at the minute. It's I keep on having a go at it. It's not a very good picture, that isn't. We're going to go for the standard without... Yeah. Fantastic. I did a bit of tweaking on this earlier. It should. So then, we're going to pop over to our field, which is straight ahead of us, really. It's not a long way, and we will ask, right, if we're clever, so we don't really need that at the minute, we'll ask the store to deliver. I'll stop the cameras for a minute. I don't want to show it on camera. Well, to be honest, let's be totally truthful. We know that you can ask the store to deliver. It's just if I show it how I get there, then we all know how I'm going to do it. That's not a thing, but it's like trying to get a little bit better with like how things are rather than like how things look. So we should be, I think, am I going the right way? I think I should be. Yeah, it is a big field. Well, it's a big map. I'm not afraid of the big map, but I've got to be honest, I just wasn't feeling it on Frankenmuth the farm. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was beautiful and like fantastic equipment and all that type of stuff. Is that a farm? Oh, it's the animal dealer. Looks like a farm as well, though, to be honest. I don't know if this is our land, but it's a perfect place to actually get everything. Ooh, he says as he clocks the... Let's drop that down. We really don't need that at the minute. Do we need to ask the store to deliver? Couldn't we just sort of limp across the road? No, it's too bad. Right, yeah. We shall reconvene in a minute. I'm going to set the courses and all that type of stuff as well. And the one thing I'd like to do beforehand, though, is we need a... Now, I presume some of this land and the headland was ours, but it looks like there's telegraph poles right in the way. So I'm not sure. I mean, if we're going to in the future... I could do what I've done in... yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. It's true. I am going to put one down, but I'm not going to waste... Might have to destroy a little bit of straw. But I'm going to be right back. I shall bring you back in as soon as I've got the straw delivered on the edge of the field, the course is set and all that type of stuff. So, see you shortly. Right, done. Right, I am going to go straight into a time lapse because this is going to be a big one. But I'm going like not to do the course. I'm going to like oh, they haven't nerfed this. I was talking about this earlier. Oh, we've left the evidence of my naughtiness. Although we all know how I did it. It's not fooling anybody. So straw swath is on that. I haven't got that mod on that does it, but it does seem when FS25 first dropped, you didn't actually get that. Now then, are we going to do it in the middle? I think the corner is always the best place to actually do this. So if we sort of go straight ahead, so I know it's going to like cut a massive swath out all the way across the field, but if we head for that corner, well, there's a lot of weed on it. It's going to be quite a poor thing, but do we really care? Normally, I would just like let this go. But you can't afford it when you paid that for this, and there's an awful lot of canola on here, even with the most weediest of things. So just going to prepare that corner. Wow, it is a bigger field than you think. Quite reasonable for saying how big it is. What we might do is slice a bit of the, or grab 45 when it's been harvested, and we might grab that as our farmyard, and we'll have this as the centre. There's quite a lot of fields. Obviously we've got quite a lot of cash, but we've got productions to put down. It looks like we're doing really well, but we're really not. I mean, you don't know how well we're doing at the minute is what I'm really trying to say, because we're just, yeah, we're going vegetables. That reminds me, yes, I am actually working on a bit of kit right this very minute. Not this very minute, I'm actually on the game this very minute. Yeah, and it is to do with vegetables. So I might try and incorporate it. BI Industries have been very busy on trying to create a hybrid harvester that will do vegetables. They've not quite got it right for potatoes yet, but we've got to be careful. No, it's quite a long way off, that's alright. Yeah, we're going to slice a bit off this corner. Trying to think what we do. Yeah, one thing I do love is the Quantum, the new Quantum that is an amazing bit of kit. I'm sort of falling in love with it straight away. I might actually go and grab that, and we'll grab the straw. Don't really want to waste it. I plan on having animals quite quickly, so that really will come in very handy for sort of saving us a bit of cash immediately. So we'll just do this, and then we're going to let this crack on, and now I'm going to go and grab the so if we set this going now on first waypoint on right, probably is going to do some that it's already done, but we don't really care. Let's go grab this, and now I'm going to go into a time lapse. I am so we want to grab the Quantum. This is where you could really do with 2. Actually, thinking about it, certain situations where certain things that are better suited, the fluffy mods is going to be the perfect thing for grabbing the straw off this, because I can stick it straight in the trailer. Although the quantum's fantastic, it's going to be a bit awkward to actually stick the normal standards back on as well. We really don't need narrows at the minute. So then I can't remember where the actual... It's the belt systems. Apologies. Yeah, I was thinking out loud. I say I'm really tired. I do apologise, but yeah, I'm a bit. I'm not the brightest of things in the. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, now that's interesting. I always said that was one of the best mods. I didn't say it out loud. that was one of the best by Peasel, but it was such a waste. It would only do. Now he's actually done it for everything. That's a bit of a game changer. We may well actually have a go at that. Yeah, but we're going to literally grab this at the Mini and we're going to lease it, because it just really lends itself. Oh, no, I've reset it. we did reset it. Definitely. On camera. Everybody saw what I was doing, so... Yeah, so we'll grab the... I'm going to go into the time lapse now, though. We're going to grab that and we're going to put a silo down right in that corner. Production silo, I think. I think we'll go production silo to store everything. Might need to tweak it as I go along, but that's one of the other reasons I'm, like, trying to use my own mods. I've literally been very busy. I did a buy-in station early on this very map, on the original one, but... I'm just going to... I think I might still run the episodes and actually, and then we're going to morph from that one to this one, I think, rather than just not show it, because I like the map and there's things that it would still show off that are pretty much the similar direction. Right, anyway, I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. there we were, done. Yeah, we'll ask the shop to come and pick everything up. And we'll have a quick look to see how well we actually did. I'm quite chuffed with that. That is got a really quick turnaround. A little tuft over there. I'm not going back for it now. It will not be worth it. But yeah, we'll drop this lot off and ask the store to pick them up, and then we'll see how well we did. Quite well, really, for saying it was a very, very weed infested field, truthfully. Very, very weed infested, so not a bad first session. Very rarely do I actually like crack straight on the first session. Usually most, let's suppose, I'll go through the winter, but I just thought it's what's that old saying, cometh the hour, cometh the man, but what it's sort of the same bit in farming. You wouldn't leave a field like that. You've just got to get cracking straight away. So not sure how effective the leasing the 2 harvesters in one time is. Yeah, I'm not sure whether that was a good or a bad thing, but so let's release that. The only bad thing is you can see it on the little tiny square. I really think that's terrible. Yeah, there's no, other than me stopping the cameras and saying, oh, I've returned the, like things, you can see them disappear off the mini-map, which I think is a little bit... It is in a way, I've got to be honest. Obviously, Giants have got an awful lot of like people who are on the partner program, and most of those are content creators. So it's sort of like it's my way or the highway. To me, it just seems very disrespectful to those who are making content to make it so unprofessional when they are supported heavily by content creators that do. But I'm speaking independently. I know if I was on the partner program now, of course I wouldn't speak like this, but the thing is, I don't think I ever want to be on the partner program because of that very fact. If I am, then I'm bought. What I mean is I can't speak out, and to me, I'm independent and I want to be independent, and so if that means I'm not going to be on the partner program, not going to get early releases, so be it. I've managed so far without it. It is a shame in some ways, but obviously it's a bit like you're in my pocket if I'm like that, and then I can't speak. I've heard quite a few content creators that are on the partner program, and I'm like thinking, oh man, for heaven's sake, tell it how it is, and like not, oh, like think, oh, it's really good, are they releasing this? I'm like, oh my life, the game is an absolute shambles. We can all see the fact that it's got promise, but it's a mess. It's one of the worst messes ever of all the releases. I can see in time this could well be handled properly, probably the best game, as Giants did say, but it certainly was the most shambolic of starts, and there's no way I'm going to say it any other way than that. Right, so it needs lime as well. That's going to be fun to do that. So we own 3 pieces of equipment, 1 new and 2 second hand. All right, so how well did we actually do? No, yeah, it's all in here. So 44 tons of canola, not bad off a weedy field. Oh, my life. Oh, I didn't realise I've only got 250,000 litre storage. I suppose it's not bad. I ought to make a second pusher that is bigger as well, that is obviously dearer, to represent the fact that it would, is a bigger size. And I suppose when you consider, I have seen a lot of silos that don't look that big. It is big, but if you consider that was split into lots of compartments inside for storage, and then obviously there's the room where all of it goes on and all the magic is in there. So I would say if you were to sort of split that around, I mean, we know none of them are ever right, but what I mean is that's not a bad, I think that's not a bad attempt. So we've got our first production, sort of, or first silo, whichever way you want to look at it. We've done our first field. And I think, to be honest, I'm going to leave it there. So we're down to $708,300. I'm going to do a couple of sessions on this. I always do whenever I do a new thing. But I'm still going to play the first ones. But I just wasn't feeling it. So it's going to go from that, how far we got on Frankenmuth, which it was only 3 episodes. I've been heavy-hearted over it all over the weekend, and I thought, I know what it is. I came to that, I thought, oh, I'm going to go on Frankenmuth. I thought, you shouldn't be facing a new map like that, and it's not the map. It's just it's nice to start where you're not handed it on a plate, and I don't mean that nasty. It's a big map, and we were given lots of fields. You'd have to very, very badly manage the farm not to make a profit, and a huge profit straight away. It would be nice, even with 1 million, to actually carve our own destiny. And I'm not throwing... Obviously, the map makers made this, and you can play this whichever way you want, but I just would like to play it. Feels a bit more like a pioneer. And obviously, as I said, I always like to be guided by... We've got that beautiful... We will go into vegetables, which means I'm probably going to use the cannery. I have found... I am trying not to do things. I don't want to be going back into the fertilizer business. FS25, but nearly every Let's Play I did the fertilizer business, because there was not a really... Well, I mean, it was on normal economy, so I could make money lots of different ways, but it was so tempting. I just don't want to do that. I really would like to play. I don't care how tempting it is. I just want to crack on and do what we've got to do, and like carve a normal farmer with productions, factories, and don't mind how we do that. I'd like to put some bees down, I think, as well. Yeah, it's got not got very much space on it, but I say we've got the winter to go through now. What do we do? I think we'll, as I would normally do now, we're going to like carve and just go through the winter and see what equipment that we might be able to have, which that'd be really nice. And I mean that we can do but we missed the boat for this year. So I think what we'll do is we'll go through to next March. We'll put productions down, because obviously I'm hoping we can buy this field right next door, and this top end. No, let's do it that way. Yeah, this top end here would be the farmyard, probably to here as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be silly. I wouldn't care if we took the entire field, but we could well do animals in it as well. So this is going to be the farmyard, and then obviously I'm going to hope that we grab fields all around us in time. And we're not terribly far from the shop, which is that's quite rare. So we've got a beginning, and that's where I'm going to leave it for this first session. I'm quite chuffed with that. We've spent 300 grand, but I am going to sort of let the sales not dictate my future, but obviously we've got that now. We're going to work with it. I like vegetables a lot, so, and we may well go with the BI Industries. I shall show you what I'm on about. It's not finished. We're increasing the hopper. Yeah, I'd like it to be... I fell in love with this. I've got to be honest, that when I very first saw it, I thought, that's really fantastic. A fantastic idea. And... no, it's that one. Yeah, the Amity. So we have the R&D department. You'll notice ours is a little bit different to the Amity one. That can only do that. Ours has been enhanced. It can't do potatoes. They can't quite do the breakthrough to actually do that. We've got the home topper as well. Our own version of it. I'm not sure if I've done the graphics on this yet. You'll notice the colours are completely different, and it really is made by BI. It is. Yeah, and the harvester. Again, we're working on where you see the hopper end there. We're trying to make quite a large storage area. So at the minute, it's 6.5, 10 tons actually. Yeah, it's using Time Lord technology to compress time and space to make the storage a bit bigger. But in time, we are going to make that hopper bigger. I've already started the modelling. In fact, I've almost finished it. Modelling, it's not so easy to do things with moving parts as it is to do like but you can see it is completely different, and it really is the BI Industries version. And it's got the... does this one show the model anywhere? No, it doesn't, does it? No, it does, but you can't see it on that white. There is the number, but you can't see it. I shall have to amend the talk to the R&D department and tell them that they're slipping a little bit. But yeah, that's the one that we've got. It is obviously made from reconditioned parts, as in the metal, all of the castings, everything secondhand, reconditioned, reclaimed, as everything in the BI Industries range is. It's all reclaimed timber, all reclaimed metal. And we have got, yeah, we don't do too bad. We give it back to the farmer, but we also make a bit of profit too. But we are a non-profit organisation. We're just farmers for farmers, and yeah, made from a cooperative that started on Lone Oak, really. Yeah, and you literally can check my Lone Oak thing to actually see my mention of the cooperative and how much money I poured into the cooperative at the beginning, which was quite fluky, but yeah, it grew and grew and grew, and the kindness that I showed them, they reciprocated to me, and quite a few times the BI Industries has dug me out of situations with Erlang Village International Leisure, or who I like to call Evil. Yeah, definitely. So they've been my saving grace, and they have grown and grown and grown, and they are a massive, massive company now. Again, still non-profit, still for the farmer. They're all millionaires, every single one on the board. All of the farmers who literally made the BI Industries what it is today are all, yeah, very, very well off personally. But they are looking out for you, the farmers. Yeah, definitely. Right, anyway, enough of this. But that's where I'd like to sort of do this. I'm hoping to get that one, but I might not. I might have to use the 10 cubic meter one to begin with. We might grab one of those. Now, the vegetable sort of one is a sort of a prototype. It really doesn't need the... It doesn't need the home topper. The sugar beets do, but the actual the vegetable one doesn't need a home topper. It's actually got that built in for only for the vegetables. It can't do that for the sugar beets. But yeah, and the potatoes, it can't do them at all, even though we're working on it. It's not been possible so far to actually sort that out. So yeah, but that's where I'm going to leave it. We shall crack on, go through the winter next session. So yeah, all that remains to be said is I'm not going to do the catch-up section, because really this one is just one big explanation. We went straight into it and we've come to a conclusion and an end. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I am going ahead, I will, but this first session, it sort of lends itself to a more like, it started, we went in the middle, and then we finished. So yeah, I'm going to just do it that way for this first session. Yeah, so all that remains to be said is hopefully see you next session, and goodbye for now.